Acoustic Shop channel. I am John, here today with Jeremy and his fabulous mandolin virtuosity.
Golden Rush.
There you go. Anyway, he's going to be here today. We're going to be talking about a custom-built Preston Thompson DBA.
I can't wait to hear about it.
A lot of cool stuff to talk about. Well, we are back, and we are going to be talking about this beautiful guitar. Before we get into it, Jeremy, you have a PSA.
Yes, I am required by law to request that you please subscribe to this channel. Also, select the notifications on there so that you'll be notified when we go live, and share it with all of your friends, family, and anyone you've ever met. Meet someone on the street, say, hey, can I share a video with you? You would like this. So please do that. By law, I was required to say that. And now
there is actually new internet police that are going around writing citations for not doing that. So good job, Jeremy.
Also, our media team has requested that I mention that if you don't like to hear us talk, we recorded an entire version of that song that you just heard a little snippet of.
Yeah,
and there's a link
smokes
to that down in the description, so you can skip right to that and not have to listen to us. Or if you want to hear a little bit about this, but then want to hear tone samples, at the end of this video, we have only tone samples, and you can skip to that. Also, there's a link in the description. So please don't leave any comments about all the talky.
Well, that's what we do. We talk. We love to talk about guitars
It's a talk
and mandolins
show.
and banjos and whatever else. So anyway, we're talking about Preston Thompson today. One more time, Thompson has sent us an amazing guitar. My hands are still hurting from that.
That's your
Jeremy.
idea.
I want to.
You kicked it off and you selected the song.
It was very fast.
But one of the cool things at the shop that people that have been watching this channel realize is you love customizing guitars.
I do.
And we've started to get a bit of a reputation for it where people are calling and saying, I have a guitar I'd like your help on customizing, and this is one of those.
Build them. Yeah, I love guitars. Here's the deal. I love guitars. I love custom guitars. I can't afford any of them. That's basically what it is.
Why you
so
started a
I
music
like
store.
to spend your money building you custom guitars.
So that you get to play it.
That's right. So I get to check them out. No, it is a whole bunch of fun. I've spent a lot of time around guitars, and I kind of have some good feels by listening to customers, what they're looking for, not just in looks and not just in designs, but in sounds and what they're doing. So if they come to me and say, this is what I'm looking for, I can kind of help them to get a customized guitar to get them what they're looking for.
The wood selection, pairing different, it's almost like we've mentioned before, pairing the right wine with the meal.
Yeah.
You kind of figure out which tone woods work together for the sound they're looking for, and then you get to have fun with some of the customized, just little extras on it to make it look a little more custom.
I agree with that, and I think there's a trend right now. I was talking to a couple of high-end manufacturers, even ones that we don't carry, and I think there's a newer trend, and it's something that I'm very in tune with, and a lot of people are starting to do. It used to be customized guitars were usually for older retiree folks that have a lot of money sitting around and they want to put everything on them. I mean, they put all the abalone in every spot. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. If that's what you're looking for, there is a ton of options out there. But what I think we kind of seem to be specializing in more now is ways to get the guitar sound you want, the playability you want, and where you want it to be as far as a player / special piece of art, and then we can kind of combine dressing it up a little bit without going crazy, whether it's certain sunbursts, small little things that don't make it look like it's just every option thrown into one, but just a dressed up version of
a one-of-a-kind, building yourself a one-of-a-kind guitar that's going to be a great player instrument as well.
Not every art piece has to be all flashy. It can still be very basic, yet have a gorgeous
I once saw it at an art museum. They had an exhibit, and it was just a chunk of clay.
Really?
So that could be your...
I'm down with that. We can do that customization. Anyway, I love doing this one. This one was actually done by customer Stan. Stan called and wanted to do a Brazilian. We already kind of sort of had it in the works, so we kind of just edited it a little bit. Originally, I believe this one was going to be a sunburst. We changed it. We went to a natural top. This was a brand new torch that had just been announced. In fact, I think only one other guitar has it so far, other than this one from Thompson.
And it's gorgeous. It's awesome.
Yeah. So what we did with this guitar was Stan wanted to do his kind of dream guitar, and he knew he wanted to do a Brazilian rosewood back inside. So we got that set up. Thompson specialized in pairing that with Adirondack spruce tops. So we went with a quad or master grade Adirondack top. Kept most of the basic appointments the same. So this is basically a DBA with a few added features.
Doing business as?
A Dreadnought Brazilian rosewood Adirondack. There you go. Thank you, Jeremy. We started with that torch. I sent Stan a picture of this because I kind of already fell in love with it because I got a picture of it myself and said, this is a new one they're doing. What do you think of this? He knew he wanted to do a torch. He'd seen the Thompson ones that they have done in the past. And I said, this one's a new one. And he goes, yeah, that's what I want to do. So we did that. We added that. I love the new purfling thing that Thompson started doing with us, I guess about 2-3 years ago, where we do this thin line of purfling throughout the fretboard and into the peg head. I've always loved bound headstocks. I still love them. I love that change of color. But like this, it was a little bit more subtle. And we actually kind of had a couple go-rounds with some of the folks over at Thompson because I've ordered rosewood guitars in the past with it, to which they told me, we don't think that's going to be a good pairing. I think what we really need to do is the white ivoroid binding because with rosewood it looks better. And I'm like, I agree, it looks absolutely fabulous. But I really pushed for it this time. We have seen a few guitars that were done this way, in the mahogany especially, and then we did one as a Madagascar rosewood as well.
It gives it a bit of a classy look, like it's a very refined.
I like it for
look.
two reasons, and I'll tell you what it is. I think it dresses it up, gives you kind of that bound look without being as bold, which I absolutely love. I also love that one of the big problems with a lot of fretboards is bound fretboards tend to be a problem when they do refrets, and you can run into problems where they have to snip that tang back a little bit, which I'm assuming they did a little bit on this because you cannot see a fret edge, the tang that's going down inside here. But with that purfling, you shouldn't have as much of an issue in keeping that fret down so that you won't have that gap. That's my assumption. I'm hoping that's true. So there's another good reason to kind of do that for the refret options. Again, didn't go crazy on this guitar. We just knew it was a custom, absolutely, special guitar. Thompson's been known to do that pre-war sound out of a brand new guitar. We knew that that's what he was looking for. Very punchy, very lively. Now, with COVID, it was a crazy run because this order was supposed to be done in February, and here we are now. As of this filming, we are in the end of June, and it finally has made it here. Again, I want to warn all of you folks that are doing not only custom guitars, but any orders for any instruments. This has been a crazy time. Expect delays. Yeah. Expect lots of delays.
That's just the world we're in, not just in instruments, but obviously
especially from a small shop like this. I mean, you got to realize if they've only got 10, 15 people working in there and we have an accident where 2 or 3 of those guys are out, that shuts it down for 2 or 3 weeks.
And even above that, there's also, demand almost doubled over the 2020
Absolutely.
year. So keeping up and trying to catch up with those orders when people were staying at home, they've got a backlog, so they're trying to catch up to that. And same thing with the wood suppliers. They're getting short on dried and ready wood. So, yeah, there is a delay. Totally worth it on this one. When you get that right combination of back and sides with the top, when you pull this one out of the case and strummed it was like a monster. Tonally, you just really couldn't have asked for more.
No, this has a extremely rich and full-sounding low end, but it's tight and it's just impactful, and I love that. And I think that's part of that Brazilian rosewood extra little something that happens. It's not at a minor cost, mind you, but it's only so far I've only seen that be an option in something like a Brazilian rosewood, and the pairing of this, their voicing is just amazing. Again, here's what's amazing to me on this guitar, and as most of the Thompsons have been, is light strokes.
Still sounds really big and full.
Very big and very powerful. And then if I hit it, it's like sitting there saying, please hit me with something harder. Do it, do it, do it.
Or it's saying I can do either one. You can play really soft and it sounds full and punchy.
I don't seem to be able to just overdrive it, and I can't be too light for it either. There's so much dynamic range in this guitar, and I'm just so impressed with it. I really am. So, Stan, you ended up with an absolutely incredible guitar. If you're watching this, you've already got it. You know that. So you're just watching this now, so everybody read in the comments.
People wondering why we're doing a review on a guitar that was already sold. It's just kind of shows the cool things. We're enthusiasts about acoustic instruments. Kind of show the cool things you can do when you're building a custom guitar. Some of the stuff that Preston Thompson specifically is doing, and how it turns out. It's one of those kind of waiting games. When you do it, you kind of put it together, and then you're waiting to hear. And I'm sure when they're building, it's the same thing. When they finally get that top on there and put the strings on for the first time, it's got to be like a little bit of nervous anticipation, wondering if it turned out as good as you think it did.
And you're right. This channel is not all about selling. Obviously, we want you all to know about the guitars we have in stock, but we also do a ton of reviews on guitars we don't have in stock, or even companies that we don't get to do.
Carry,
We love acoustic instruments. We really do. And so if you got ideas of things that you want to hear, if we can get our hands on it, we'd love to do reviews on those.
I think a sitar is next in our future.
I'm
practicing right now.
I don't know what we would do with that.
I'm going to play...
Norwegian wood. There you go, I guess. All right, well, there you go. So what we're going to do right now is give you a tone sample of this guitar and see what you guys think of it. Appreciate you guys watching that video. It was my favorite one we've made so far. We've done hundreds of videos, and that was the best one. It was.
And the next one's going to be even better. If you'd like to see that, be sure you subscribe to this channel. And also, the more you comment and interact below, the more the YouTube algorithms pick it up and start pushing it out to other people, like-minded people.
Algorithms?
Algorithms. They're everywhere. They permeate the internet, and YouTube's got one. And it watches our videos, and it sees how much you comment, and then it pushes us to other people like you. And we want everyone to experience the Acoustic Shop world, where we talk about instruments, we do reviews, we got some fun videos coming up. We thank you guys so much for being a part of it, and we'll see you in the next video.